お前はやらなくていい。はい。ご主人様。カイト、目を覚ましてください。はい、起きろ。
All right, my friends. So here we have Exploration Hero episode 11. I did not like this episode at all. Our MC, okay, so our main character is going to take to the dungeon, to the labyrinth, to the nth degree because he has a big hero complex, okay? We've discussed this before. He has a big hero complex. For whatever reason, he has a big hero stick up his ass, and he wants to be this hero, okay? Totally fine. I get it. Some people, they just have a screw loose up top. I guess you could say that, you know, to be a hero in some of these stories, you kind of have to be a little crazy. Totally get that. But then he's going to put himself in danger, and instead of committing to running away, he's like, we gotta fight. Okay, all right, no problem. You gotta fight. Then he's gonna get mollywopped by these, I don't know, Pumbaa-looking monsters or whatever. And he's then gonna act like a little puss bag, you know, like a little pussy boy later of like, oh, I was so scared. It's like, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen? Like, you're going solo dolo and you're putting yourself in these idiotic positions. You're tired, you're exhausted, but for whatever reason, that hero stick up his ass. He won't admit to himself that he's tired and he's not at his best form. But he's going to keep pushing himself because he really wants to save this 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐿 girl, which in truth is not even because he really wants to save this girl. He just wants to be the hero that says he could save this girl. Again, that hero stick up his ass. Doing so much so that he's even avoiding this 𝐜𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿 girl who's like pleading with him basically like, you know, don't go. And then you have his peons or his familiars or whatever, and they're telling him like, hey, like we shouldn't go anymore. Like, bro, like you're wasted. Like you're pointless right now. Like you're just wasting your time. And he puts himself in this situation and, you know, he almost gets his HP taken out or whatever. Like, I get it. Like, you know, it's traumatic. But it's like, how are you going to be this big, prideful buffoon and then be a big old fucking little bitch boy about it? It's just so frustrating. And it's not enjoyable to watch, you know? And then he has these two girls who are caring about him in his situation, even though he's being a little bitch. And then he goes and he runs away from them, okay? It's like, all right, bro, like, what do you want, man? Like, just quit, you know? Then he's like, Hickory, I'm so sorry. He's like, yo, fuck you, dude. Like, it's just written so badly, and it's just like, the show has already been just very mediocre, you know? But then when you have, like, this just really bad writing on top of it, it's like, okay, like I can only watch so much of this. Like I can only watch 21 minutes of Bitch Boy just to be given 2 minutes of some Sil and some Lucy fan service as they, you know, in his moment of need, take that time to French kiss our boy or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it just, and it is what it is, you know, but it's kind of one of these to where it's like, I'm just not enjoying what's on screen. So like this episode to me sucked. If I had to give it a rating, I would say it was a 4 out of 10. The animation wasn't good enough to, you know, take it out of its ditches. The core plot line is so loose, you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's just loose. You know, the other plot point of, you know, Kitsuragi's dad being lost. I mean, it's just so predictable that we can only assume that since he made it down so far, that there's probably not another world, but there's probably civilization in some of the floors, you know, kind of like Danmachi, you know, when they've made it to certain floors, how certain floors are considered rest areas, and there's like big thriving towns and stuff that live in these rest areas, like these rest points. There's probably something very similar in this labyrinth world or whatever, to where there's probably civilization, and then like some of the summons and these other people that seemingly have to live, even like the demon lord and the demon lord's peons, they have to live somewhere, right? So you can only assume that certain floors are dedicated to like towns or civilizations. So he's probably just living his best life on these lower floors, trying to figure out how to get back up or some bullshit like that they'll discover in season 8 or whatever of the manga that we'll never see. You know what I mean? Again, it's just so predictable that you have to assume that it's that. And then the other portion of it, the last thing I'll say, and this is going to be a negative as well, is little bitch boy goes to floor 12, okay? And he's down there, and the show is always telling us and promoting that this park, this labyrinth, is always so busy and so buzzing with all these kids and adventurers and people who are there making money. But how in the hell is it that 99% of the time when they are getting to or exploring any floor, that they're alone, like that there's nobody around? Now, the other portion of it is, again, a direct competitor because it has a similar being of existence, is Danmachi. And in Danmachi, you know, when Bell is exploring with him and his party, or when he was by himself, he would always encounter other adventurers because there's other people that are also doing what he's doing. So it's like, how is it? You have to imagine it's just laziness, and it's either lazy writing or lazy direction from the studio because they just don't have the budget or whatever to animate more people or voice more people or whatever. But if that's not the case, it's like, well, how is it that every floor he explores or they explore or whatever, they're just seemingly always alone? Like, you have to imagine that there's other, like, if it's as popular and as busy and as such an impactful labyrinth as they tell us it is, right? Like, I mean, the fact that they can pay out millions of dollars to these people, it has to generate enough income, you know what I mean? So it's like you would assume that there is droves of people that are also exploring floor 12, 11, 10 for the first time, especially these lower beginner floors, because he's barely made it to level 12. Papa made it to level 41. So you have to assume that people are exploring these levels all the time, and they have to go through these other levels first. So it's like, even if other parties are just seemingly passing you to go to these other floors, you just have to assume that there's droves of people. So how are you always by yourself? How is there nobody around? It just doesn't make sense. And maybe you can make it make sense, please, in the comments. But for me right now, I'm just like, just the moment I begin thinking about it and then the actual content, it's just, ugh. So anyways, man, this sucked it up. So regardless, you know, when it comes to this show, Nobody's Way Up Hero is only scheduled for 12 episodes. So we have 1 episode. So we're going to see Bitch Boy, you know, do whatever he's going to do. You know, Mr. Kaito Bitch Boy. And it is what it is. So, you know, the show's going to end, and thank God. All right. I'm leaving you guys on those extremely negative thoughts. And it is what it is. You know, you just feel like you feel sometimes. So I'll see you guys next week for the last episode, and maybe Bitch Boy will be less bitchy, but I doubt it. All right. Love y'all. Peace out.